You can support In the Past Lane by buying some of our merchandise, like t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and stickers. Just go to inthepastlane.com and click on merchandise. Thanks.
Whoa, hit the brakes. You've arrived at the #1 drive-by for American history. Welcome to The Pit Stop. Brought to you by In the Past Lane, the podcast about history and why it matters. Here's Edward T. O'Donnell, your host and historian at large.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Pit Stop, your Monday morning source for history on the go in just about 5 minutes. If you're new to the podcast, we offer this mini-feature every Monday, in addition to our regular full-feature episodes. Here's what happened in American history the week of August 20th, 2018. Let's start with birthdays. August 20th, 1833, is the birthday of the 23rd President of the United States, Benjamin Harrison, who was born in North Bend, Ohio. His one great claim to fame is that he's the only president who was a grandson of a president. He was the grandson of William Henry Harrison. August 21st, 1904, that's the birthday of Count Basie, the great jazz pianist, composer, and bandleader, who was born in Red Bank, New Jersey. August 22nd, 1893, that's the birthday of Dorothy Parker, who was born in Long Branch, New Jersey. Parker was a writer and critic known for her sharp wit and funny quips. She once said, "I require only 3 things of a man. He must be handsome, ruthless, and stupid." August 22nd is also the birthday of Ray Bradbury, who was born in Waukegan, Illinois in 1920. Bradbury was one of the great writers of science fiction in the mid-20th century. He wrote many books, but none was more famous than his 1953 classic, Fahrenheit 451. Ray Bradbury once said, "There are worse crimes than burning books. One of them is not reading them." August 23rd, 1785, that's the birthday of Commodore Oliver Hazard Perry, who was born in South Kingston, Rhode Island. Perry rose to fame during the War of 1812, especially after his victory in the Battle of Lake Erie in 1813. His dispatch following the battle to then General and future President William Henry Harrison is famous for its brevity. "We have met the enemy, and they are ours." And August 25th is the 100th birthday of the composer and conductor Leonard Bernstein, who was born August 25th, 1918 in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Bernstein once said, "To achieve great things, 2 things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time." Okay, let's turn to events. August 21st, 1831, that marked the beginning of the largest slave insurrection in U.S. history. It took place in Virginia and was led by a man named Nat Turner. In all, 60 white residents of the county were killed, and in reprisal, at least 120 African Americans were killed. August 21st, 1858, that marked the beginning of the debates between a very famous senator named Stephen A. Douglas and an up-and-comer named Abraham Lincoln. August 23rd, 1927, Italian immigrants and avowed anarchists Nicola Sacco and Bartolomeo Vanzetti were executed by the state of Massachusetts for their alleged role in a 1921 burglary and murder. 50 years later, on August 23rd, 1977, the state of Massachusetts issued a declaration that August 23rd was Sacco and Vanzetti Day. The statement said nothing about their innocence or guilt, but did note that they had received an unfair trial. August 24th, 1814, in the midst of the War of 1812, British forces attacked Washington, D.C. and set it ablaze, destroying many buildings, including the White House. And 50 years ago, on August 26th, 1968, the city of Chicago exploded in violence and chaos, as thousands of protesters clashed with Chicago police. The protesters were there to voice their opposition to the Vietnam War by disrupting the Democratic National Convention, which had gathered there to nominate a candidate for president. The scenes of Chicago police attacking and beating and arresting protesters were just the latest episode in an unprecedented year of unrest. In 1968, Americans witnessed in January the Tet Offensive in Vietnam, which undermined their confidence in the war. In April, the assassination of Martin Luther King, which touched off riots in more than 100 cities. And in June, the assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. And then in August, Chicago exploded. The Democrats nominated Hubert Humphrey, but in November, he lost to Richard M. Nixon. Okay, time for the last word. Let's give it to Nat Turner, the man who led the great slave insurrection in Virginia in 1831. While in prison awaiting execution, Turner told his story to a journalist. Nat Turner was a mystic who had come to believe that God had appointed him to launch an insurrection that would destroy slavery. This is how he put it. "And about this time I had a vision, and I saw white spirits and black spirits engaged in battle. And the sun was darkened, and thunder rolled in the heavens, and blood flowed in streams. And I heard a voice saying, 'Such is your luck. Such you are called to see, and let it come rough or smooth, you must surely bear it.' It was plain to me that the Savior was about to lay down the yoke he had borne for the sins of men, and the great day of judgment was at hand." Okay, people, that's your history fix for the week. Now put it in drive and go make your own history.